And here we go, our main event of the evening. Gino versus Bryan Keith. The winner of this match will face Will all day at Swing Vote for the Reality of Wrestling Texas Championship. Do not let his demeanor or his attitude fool you. Gino Medina, one of the very best this company has ever seen, maybe the best. If you did a Mount Rushmore reality of wrestling, he would be on the George Washington face without a doubt. And the thing that is scary, ladies and gentlemen, is he's only getting better. The former three-time reality of wrestling champion, Gino, is here. There was no better story of 2019 going into 2020 than the Lone Ranger of the Road, Bryan Keith, winning that championship, winning the ever-elusive Reality of Wrestling Championship, only to lose it back to ruthless Ryan Davidson in our very first drive-in special. Now, Bryan Keith is trying to battle back, and he finds himself in a position to get an opportunity at that Texas Championship this evening. One of the longest reigning champions in Raw history now has to face one of the most decorated. It's Bryan Keith, it's Gino, it's our main event. It's Reality of Wrestling. And you have to wonder about Bryan Keith's mental space. He lost the thing that he had worked for the better part of a decade for, to Ryan Davidson. Now, he finds himself back with the opportunity to get a championship opportunity, but not for the Reality Wrestling Championship, for the Texas Championship. What is his motivation tonight? Can he put behind him those demons of those losses in the past? Focus on Gino, get the job done, and find himself a Triple Crown champion. It is very possible. The path is right in front of him, but he's got to go through one of the very best that we've ever seen. It's Gino, it's Bryan, and it's now. And there's the bell. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we want to thank the 385,000 subscribers to the Reality Wrestling channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, share, do all the things you're supposed to do so the world can know why we are the front row of sports and entertainment and the flagship of Texas wrestling. Where Gino always popular with the Reality Wrestling Nation. And he's not even going to wrestle unless they shut up. Fat chance of that happening. And look at the scowl of the face on the face of Bryan Keith. Extra motivated. We hope. Sometimes you have to wonder, when you lose that championship, does the championship level confidence that you gain, do you lose that as well? Do you start to doubt yourself? Do you start to wonder, am I really the guy? Do I have what it takes to get the job done? Quick cover one. All those thoughts are racing through the mind of Bryan Keith right now. He's trying to figure out. Cover there. He's trying to figure out, am I the man? And there's no better litmus test. There's no better measuring stick than Gino Medina. The untouchable one. Side headlock here by Gino. Bryan Keith trying to fight out of it. Gino just hooking him around the ears, which really messes with the equilibrium of an athlete. But now Bryan Keith returning the favor. Oh! Elbow to that left shoulder of Gino. Now has him in a wrist lock tied behind his back. Like he's roping cattle. Is the cowboy. Beautiful reversal there from Gino. Oh, look at that. Wow. Wow. Does this man belong in a pro wrestling ring or what? And look, by nefarious means, getting an extra advantage on this side headlock, but to no avail. Referee spotted him against, oh, I thought he was going to bounce him against the ropes for an Irish whip, and now Bryan Keith said, you want a mat wrestle? You want a chain wrestle? Let's do it, man. Great display of athletic prowess and wrestling maneuverability between these two gentlemen. Bryan Keith always looking to utilize those fast kicks. Catch you quick. Oh, as is Gino. In a lot of ways, these two styles really mirror one another. Big drop kick cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. Both of them use high-flying offense. Both of them, in tip-top shape. Both of them have the experience, the veteran experience and instincts, looking for that scarlet letter. Bryan Keith reversal. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful right there from Bryan Keith. Bryan Keith shaking his head, almost happy and pleased with his actions thus far. As a former reality wrestling champion. As Gino, oh man, right on that knee. The thigh of Bryan Keith being driven into the kneecap of Gino. And Gino really feeling the effects of that one, rolling to the outside, trying to sweep the legs of Bryan Keith. Bryan Keith seesawing to the outside, and that lower back and spine landing on the apron. And what is he gonna do? Sends him right into the steps. Sends him right into the steps, just Gino. Bryan Keith laying on the outside in pain. You know he's still not 100% after he had injury that he suffered in the match with Ryan Davidson. And Gino looking on as Bryan Keith grasping at his fingertips, almost trying to grab something like he maybe has lost feeling. Oh, and referee's about to call it off. Referee's about to throw up the X. But Bryan Keith begging and pleading with him. Wow, we might have seen a referee stoppage. As Booker T says, the referees need to have the understanding, knowledge, and know-how to get in there and just stop it. And I'm not so certain that would have been a great move for Gino. Excuse me, for Bryan Keith moving forward. Sometimes you gotta live to fight another day. And Gino driving those elbows in the rib cage of Bryan Keith. Look at that, Gino driving his knuckles into the ribs of Bryan Keith. We know that they were fractured at that, drive-in event against Ryan Davidson. And Gino using those legs to squeeze on the rib cage of Bryan Keith, where if those ribs weren't fully healed up, he is in 100% complete pain, just covering up from those shots from Gino. Oh man, Gino catches him right behind the ear. 1, 2, referee should have had a better look at that one. I think Gino got away with an illegal punch right there. Nevertheless, owning this contest thus far. And every opportunity he gets, look at that, pulling on the ear, putting his knuckles into the rib cage, whatever he has to do. slowly but surely fighting out of this one. Remember, the winner of this contest will meet Will all day at our next drive-in special swing vote for the vacant Reality Wrestling Texas Championship. Remember, the current holder, Max Umberto, unable to defend that championship due to the pandemic, so he has been stripped. The title is being held up, and it's going to be Will all day versus either Bryan, Keith, or Gino at swing vote to declare that champion. Oh, look at that pump handle. Pump handle. Oh! A pump handle gut wrench right there. Cover. 1, 2, and a kick out. Again, going back to an earlier spot in this match when it looked like Bryan Keith was on the outside in pain after Gino sent him into those steel steps. We saw the referee really considering stopping this contest, and now looking back at it, I think that would have been the right decision to make. Bryan Keith is a tough man. We all know this. We all know what he can do inside that squared circle. He's been a champion. Not once but twice. He's been the Reality Wrestling Champion and the Reality Wrestling Television Champion. But he has to live to fight another day. And the beating that he is taking from Gino might put him on the shelf to where even if he wins this match, who knows if he'll be 100% or even be medically cleared to face Will all day for that Texas Championship. And a side effect though, out of desperation from Bryan Keith, a side effect to the apron. That could be his opening. But at what cost? Bryan Keith slowly getting back in, beating the referee's count, and another one. A bookend, more that time. 1, 2, oh my goodness. Red Shoes was there, and Gino getting the shoulder up. Gino just throwing Bryan Keith on that top rope, and the inertia made him flip and land right on the back. Those ribs, the kidneys, the spine, everything is hurting right now on Bryan Keith, and Gino smells it. Gino smells victory, but a super kick, the fastest kicks in the South. They call him that for a reason. And now both men laid out. If Bryan Keith were able to crawl over to Gino, he might have gotten a 3 count. Referee up to a count of 6. Bryan Keith to a vertical base. And El Intocable, the untouchable Gino, with an elevated knee into the ribs. Oh, and one into the face. Cover. 1, 2. Oh my Lord, at the last second, at the very last possible heartbeat moment, Bryan Keith finds a way to get the shoulder up. Keith, a couple of fast kicks, running on adrenaline. Swing and a miss. Oh, and both men have the same idea. line, and that's those ribs, the spinal column, the rib cage, everything shaken up after that. And we know it hurt Gino, but you have to imagine it hurt Bryan Keith even more. Count of 9. These two men starting to battle though. Referee calling off the count and slaps across the face. That might have fired up Bryan Keith more than it hurt him. Might have woke him back up into this match. You see him asking for it. Oh man! You saw the sweat fly off the chest of Gino with that one. Oh my goodness. The opportunity at the Reality Wrestling Texas Championship is on the line. Both these men wanting it bad. Beautiful back suplex cover. 1, 2, and a kick out by Gino. And you have to think, with every move, with every bit of offense, it has to hurt Bryan Keith almost as much as it's hurting Gino. And he's calling for it. He's calling for it, the move that has won him the Reality Wrestling Championship. Rodeo DDT. Gino. Counter reversal. 1, 2. Bryan Keith almost had him. Oh! Another elevated knee to that rib cage, slowing the inertia and momentum of Bryan Keith all the way to a screeching halt. Gino cover. 1, 2, and a kick out again by Bryan Keith. The heart and will of the Cowboy. It's just too great. Question mark kick there, and another cover. 1, 2, 3. That question mark kick was enough to rattle the bell of the already injured Bryan Keith. And Gino will face Will all day at Swing Vote for that Reality Wrestling Texas Championship. El Intocable, El Campeón. Will he have that nickname once again? We will find out. Gino Medina, victorious in our main event. We want to thank everybody for watching this week on the Reality of Wrestling. For our executive producers, Booker T and Charmel Huffman. For our director, Kevin Bernhardt. My name is Brad Gilmore, and we will be back next week with the front row of sports and entertainment, the Reality of Wrestling.